Hey, this is Sean from Althea Suite. I'm going to be taking you through an overview of our point of sale and inventory management solution for a home furnishing retailer. It's worth noting that we're an entirely cloud-based solution, which means you don't need any kind of hardware to get the program to work for you. It runs from any kind of internet device and is automatically updated. That makes things ideal for web sync, accounting, and keeping accurate inventory that you and your team can rely on. So for starters, whenever we get set up with the customer, we always get started off with their locations. Now, what's great about Althea Suite is the program runs the same regardless if you have one store location or 10 store locations, and you could have as many warehousing as you need inside the system. The warehousing is where you would want to store your inventory, and you could have different use cases for each warehouse. So for example, in this one, I have a warehouse just for my damaged product. Then I also have another warehouse for what's out there on the showroom. But you could also create a warehouse for a back office or back warehouse. And you can have an option if you want to tie that to a location or have that independently. The next is your employees. And when you get employees set up, you have their own login that you'll give them and their own password. You could even assign them their own user role, which is what's going to give them permissions inside the system. What's great about the user roles is that you could really simplify their digital workspace. And this means you could give them access to only what it is that they need and take away access to what it is that they don't, and make sure that their day-to-day is a lot simpler. For your products, anytime we get set up products in the system, we can have this come through an RWS or Shopify web sync that will bring over all of the description, pricing, and images. You could also do this through a lot of the popular APIs that we get from common vendors. And at the top, you could also see that we have options for a spreadsheet upload, which works all the same. So over on the left side, you have different categories that you can create. If you like, you could even break these down into different subcategories. And in terms of the information on the items themselves, they could get very detailed. So I'll show you a little bit more of what that's like. So if I want to go in here and look at all the different fields, I'll go in here and click Modify, and we'll do some adjustments on here. Anytime we set up an item inside Althea Suite, we auto-populate a SKU number. We do have an option to use a manufacturer SKU if you prefer. And this gives you all the information and different attributes to that product. At the very bottom, you even can get your own custom fields if you want to add on additional information. And let's say for this example, we want to add on a new field to notate if a item is fragile. So I'm going to go ahead and click Item Fields, and I'm going to go ahead and click a new custom field. So for this one, I'm going to label this as fragile, and this one's going to be a lookup value. I'll click Apply, and then give us a moment, and it's going to recalibrate my system where I can add in some options. And I'm going to go ahead and hit plus. And for this one, I'll just say yes, and I'll give another option of no too. That looks good. I'll mark this as yes. Now these custom fields will be able to show through quotations that salespeople are giving out, as well as the invoices. And I'm going to show you that right now. I'll click Update. And let's go ahead and create a quotation with that same item so you can see that process. So here I'm going to go ahead and click New. And I can put in all the information. So here I can access all the customers inside the system. If I want to add a new customer, I could always hit this plus icon and add in the information for that customer, their name, email, phone number, and their billing and shipping to address as well. I'm just going to use a preset customer of one of our presidents, and I'll go ahead and give this a status. Now for items, we do have an option of scanning a SKU number, which will populate through here. But for this one, I'm just going to use this lookup. So I'll click these three dots, and I'll go to that item that we did. Okay. That looks good. Now, if I scroll all the way to the right, you'll see the custom code that I've made is now shown up on the quotation, which is exactly what I want. Scroll down, you do have an option to receive a deposit. So if you do get deposits as well, you could also collect those through the system. I'm just going to go ahead and click Create, and then I'm going to convert this back into an invoice. So to do that, I'm going to click these three dots again, and I'm going to go ahead and click Create Sales Invoice. Now, a similar screen is going to pop up, but I'm going to have a couple more options. So here you'll see I have an option for delivered. This is if they're taking it out of the door. If I mark it as DL, that's a pending delivery, and PK is a pending pickup. I'll do this as a pending delivery, and I'll change the fulfillment date on here till next Thursday. I also can adjust these numbers if I want to adjust the price. I do have some preset discounts in here if I want to use those as well. You could adjust these numbers as well on the fly, and we'll go ahead and do that. And again, my custom code is shown through. Let's go ahead and click payment, and I'll show you that process. So here I have different payment modes I could select. So we could do it on a cash, on a card, on a check, or a customer balance. I'll just go ahead and do this on a cash and mark that over. I could add in any kind of notes that I want to for that customer, but this all looks good to me. So I'll go ahead and click Save. And now I just went ahead and created that invoice. Now, if for any reason I don't have this product and I need to put this product on back order, you could do that as well. So I'm going to go into my sales invoices. And I see that this is the item that I just made. Okay, payment status is cleared. And for this example, I'm going to go ahead and create a back order PO. So I'll click these three dots, and then I'm going to click Create Back Order PO. This pop-up is going to show where I can either choose the last supplier, my preferred supplier, no supplier, or last least price supplier. I'll just go with preferred supplier and see what comes up, and click Generate. There we go, creating PO operation complete. I'll close that. And then if I look into my purchase orders, I should be able to see this at the very top. Here we go. I have a pending status right here for my PO. And I can see I have my preferred supplier. It's Home Depot. This all looks good. So now let's say the item comes and I'm ready to receive it. I could go in here, click these three dots, and I could go ahead and click on Create Purchase. This is what's going to create a transaction. This will also give me an option to enter a serial number too, if you're managing serial numbers. This looks good. You could adjust these as you need. And as you can see, my custom code has transferred over. Then I'm going to go ahead and click Create. Now my PO status has changed to complete. And if I go back into my sales invoice, I'll be able to see that PO number has been tied to my customer right here. And there you go. So that's one of the values you have of Althea Suite. All the data is linked together in these different modules, which makes it a lot easier to save time, money, and energy. Thanks for watching.